So, hi everybody, and welcome to another episode of In Conversation With. My name is John Lunn, aka Jonnychipz, and in this video series we talk all things cloud. We have experts and advocates from right across the industry covering a wide variety of topics, from skills and careers through to technical overviews and soft skills. So whether you're watching this on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter or LinkedIn, thanks so much for tuning in. Please do take part in the chat below. Drop us a comment, like, subscribe, it all really is appreciated. Okay, so my next guest really needs no introduction in the tech community. In fact, as soon as I hear the words tech community come up in general conversation, this is the first person I can think of. She's a Microsoft MVP, co-host of Experts Live conferences. She's recently started a new role as community manager at Experts Inside and is a huge part of our Microsoft tech community. Based in the beautiful country of Switzerland with her head in the cloud and a heart in the community, I'm super excited to welcome my next guest on In Conversation With. It's Isidora Katanic. Hey Izzy, how you doing?
Hey John, so great to be here. I'm doing very well. Thank you so much. It's really an honor to be on your show, to be talking to you today. How are you doing?
I'm really well, and yeah, obviously, huge thanks for coming on and coming on and saying hello to me for a little bit of time. It's surprising. I think we were just saying off camera there. It's surprising how we've both been so active across the community, yet this is the first time we've properly spoken to each other in all this mayhem over the last 18 months.
Yeah, that's right. I'm even getting a little bit nervous because I'm not sure if I got rusty, but I've been a little bit out of the scene, and you're actually my very first, let's say, big community activity like this again. So yeah, I'm very happy we finally have the opportunity to really speak to each other like this.
No, absolutely. And I know you've had some, awesome things going on in your personal life and your work life. So, look, I'm sure we're going to get into that now over the next sort of 40, 45 minutes or so. But look, before we jump in, not that I'm sure there's nobody in our little tech community that doesn't know who you are, but do you want to give yourself that quick little introduction, Izzy, and let us know how things are going for you at the minute?
Yeah, absolutely. So speaking of being out of the scene for a little bit, I just returned from my maternity leave. I have a beautiful first daughter, Emilia, and I'm very happy to be back in everything around the community. So for those who haven't heard about me, my name is Isidora Katanic. I'm a Microsoft MVP based in Switzerland. However, I'm born in former Yugoslavia. I grew up in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and it's love that brought me to the beautiful country of Switzerland. Yeah, as John mentioned, co-host of the IT conference Experts Live. I do Head in the Cloud, Heart in the Community, together with my partner in fun, Holly Lehman, which I'm sure John and I will also touch base on later. So yeah, that's a little bit about me right now.
No, and it's awesome, Izzy. I mean, like I say, when I kind of first turned to community back, well, yeah, it's probably about 18 months ago or so now, you were probably one of the first people that was so prolific and active across the, the Microsoft community. Kind of, it's strange, isn't it? It's rallying the troops. It's, being part of this fantastic community. I mean, how did you get involved in that, Izzy? How did you first become aware of a tech community? And, what were your first kind of steps into this community role that you've moved into?
Yeah, so actually into this world, it started in Amsterdam, Netherlands, where I used to work for a Dutch ISV. And I think it was back in 2013 when I got to attend my very first IT conference called System Center Universe, which at that time was in the US. And I actually went there with the company I was working with. And that was the first time I really got to introduced to amazing Microsoft MVPs, like for example Cameron Fuller was there, like just this whole feeling of tech community, meeting everybody in person, hanging out after breakout sessions, having like the networking events in the evening. I absolutely loved it. And actually from there, let's say I really started to love the whole aspects about community. And from there on, I started attending conferences, not speaking yet. That really came quite recently along. And what can I say? I mean, community. There's so much to do, so much to talk about. So many things we have done in the past, let's say 18 months indeed. There's a lot going on.
I was going to say, because I think, it's where do we start with even the stuff that I've seen that you've been up to, the stuff that you've done in the past, the stuff that you've done in recent times. And like you say, of course, congratulations first and foremost on the new addition to your family. So glad that's all going well for you, and you're not getting the run around just yet, hopefully, Izzy. You're you're still left to get on with certain things. Yeah, just wait till they get a bit older. I think that's my problem at the moment. But yeah, I mean, it's like I mentioned in the intro there, as soon as somebody mentions community, your face is one of those faces that immediately pops to mind. It seems that you have this galvanizing effect to wherever you go and turn your hand to within, certainly the Microsoft tech community. I mean, in terms of how that fits in with, your day job, so to speak, or even your new role now. I mean, do you want to talk us through a little bit about that? What you're up to in that space, and how you're finding things at the moment with the new role?
Yeah, absolutely. So I started this October at Experts Inside, which is a Swiss Microsoft Gold partner. It's a fully remote job. But I was so lucky that the company this year exists for 10 years. So they had a big celebration at the end of September where they invited the entire team to come to Austria. So literally the week before I started my new role, I got to meet all my colleagues in person, which I think nowadays, of course, at this time is more difficult than it was before, and especially in a remote job. So basically all our experts on the team, they're specialized in migration, integration, further development of customer solutions around Microsoft 365 and Azure. Everybody's on the road, everybody's busy doing the work remote, on site. And the fact that I actually got to meet everybody in person, that makes me super happy. And also, I also think it really helps in my job to know the people, for them to also know me. And then, of course, bring all of that back into the Microsoft community, because also the people on my team, they're also speaking at events, they're doing workshops, they're at customers. I mean, all of that I will bring into the community, but as well also bring back from the community into the company. And I think, I'm very excited for the whole journey. That's yet to come.
Yeah, no, it sounds like, that the perfect kind of role. It sounds really exciting and fun because, I was only speaking to, previous guests that I've had on the show before now, and saying that I think personally, I never really understood what community was. I've worked in the tech industry for a long, long time, and I've always kind of been on the edge, on the peripherals of that kind of community. I never really understood it. And I think for me, when COVID struck and we were kind of locked down and, we had a bit more time on our hands, I turned to it. And it's literally only today that I was speaking with somebody about it, that, it took me a good kind of couple of months really to kind of realize the penny dropped. It dawned on me, right, I see, I get what community is. And I presume that's different for different people. I mean, when somebody mentions community to you, Izzy, what are the key things that kind of strike a chord with you? What does it actually mean for you?
Well, when I heard the word community, for me, that's really like a light up, right? That's what gets me excited. I like to think of it, it's literally what the word says, like common unity. So unity that has something in common. And then speaking of our community, which is the Microsoft tech community, what I just love is the connection everybody has with each other. And for example, if somebody has a question and asks me and I don't know the answer to, which happens, I always know somebody in the community who could answer that question, or who could help further, or who knows someone who again knows someone. It's just this one big family where you can always turn to. And also what I really noticed, now even stronger than before, how everybody's so supportive of each other, and everybody, it's not easy on anybody right now what the whole world is going through. And also the effect of that on our community. We used to see each other in person at conferences and have fun and hang out and go for dinners. and all of that is now gone. And but yet I still love how we're connected online, and you with your show. And yeah, I'm just happy that we're still in some sort of way connected virtually.
No, it is nice, isn't it? And like I say, for me, that realization has only really happened, I guess, over the last 18 months. And, I kind of sit here and kick myself thinking, why didn't I get involved before? Because it really is such a, if, like you say, that the people you meet, albeit virtually at the moment, the friendships that you forge, the information on a business level and, on a professional level, I guess, you're able to kind of forge that network of really, clever, enthusiastic, passionate people right across the space, all like-minded people that help lift each other up, I guess. And for me, you've certainly been a part of that. The shows that you've been doing as well with Holly Lehman, like you mentioned in the intro there. I mean, do you want to talk to us a little bit about that YouTube series that you've got going on at the moment and how that came to be?
Yeah, absolutely. So the name of our YouTube series is Head in the Cloud, Heart in the Community, which I think perfectly describes my partner in fun, Holly Lehman, who's a product marketing manager of Microsoft Teams based in Redmond, USA. And basically, she and I started, another show that started in the pandemic, but it really brought us together, but also with our guests. And basically what we do, very similar to your amazing show. We speak with guests from the tech community. We love to touch base on the non-tech stuff. So what are they doing in their day-to-day lives? What are their hobbies? What are their passions? What are their side hustles next to their day-to-day job? And we have an amazing lineup of past guests we had in the past. And now, we're actually kicking off this October. We're going to record our new episodes. To kick off a new season. We have an amazing lineup coming up, and I just cannot wait to have our hearts back in the community and to talk with many awesome guests coming up.
Yeah, and I guess, it's great seeing those videos because, you're right. I've been doing this video series for a little bit of time, just getting to speak to fantastic people. And I don't know if you found the same thing, Izzy, but, you get to speak to such a diverse range of people, both from, a technical background, a non-technical background, right across the board. But they've each got that passion and that enthusiasm for what we're all, kind of the role that we're playing in this. Do you find that you pick up other skills from doing those kinds of shows, Izzy?
Oh, absolutely. So it's not just like hosting the show, asking questions, getting answers. It's I also, as a person, I really developed throughout our show. I learned so much from our guests, from for example, being more confident, or finding a mentor, or connecting with other people. I mean, it's really, you get so much in return. And for anybody basically who's watching or listening right now, and is maybe thinking like, hey, I also want to start a show, I would really say do it. It's really a win-win situation, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting to hear how how people start to get into these kinds of things because, like you say, over the pandemic, it's really been that we've all been locked in our houses. Okay, we started to use Teams or Zoom meetings a lot more. But I mean, for me personally, it was a case of, right, okay, I'm at home, I'm not on the road, I'm not having to travel hours on end to reach a customer site, so I'm going to try and explore some of these other areas. And for me, it was more, I'd never done any public speaking as such. So, these skills of speaking to cameras, it's just so profound and strange, I guess, that the kind of skills that you pick up in doing these YouTube series and things like that. And I'm just wondering if you felt the same, you had the same kinds of experiences.
Oh, definitely. I mean, so actually before, I was terrified to be on a stage and to be speaking. I mean, I attended tons of conferences as an attendee, or organized the event where I gave a platform to speakers to have that stage. But to actually get me there, that was terrifying. And hosting the show, Head in the Cloud, Heart in the Community. And I mean, of course, it is now a bit more comfortable because I'm at the comfort of my own home. I'm safely behind my camera. If I don't know, if I make a mistake, I'll just hang up and blame it on the Wi-Fi. And on stage, you cannot just like run away or something. But no, it definitely lots of new skills, which I got to develop more confidence to speaking in that way. And I definitely see it that way as well.
No, absolutely. And I mean, looking at the other activities that you've been involved with, one of the other things that I took part in was the Home Office Awards that you set up. Again, it was, one of those fun but yet rewarding to other people activities. I mean, talk us through that. How did that idea come about from your point of view, Izzy?
Yeah, so that idea came. So I kind of tried to promise myself, like, all right, let's take this maternity leave like very serious. I'm not going to work. I'm not going to be online. I'm not going to be like doing sessions and so on. But I was like, but if I'm not involved in the community, I know I will miss it so much. And I still wanted to, to have something that makes other people happy and to get them involved and to bring the community together. I mean, that's what I just love doing by indeed hosting the conferences and so on. Anyways, cannot host in-person events. I was involved in a lot of online events going on. And then I thought, I just want to do something that really brings the people together, that inspires them, inspire each other. And I was thinking, what everybody is now working, who started working from home, they're pimping up their home office. And we've seen some amazing things going on Twitter. I mean, you have been leading the Twitter universe for a long time as the guy with the amazing home office setup. And
that's what boredom does to you, is you see boredom, too much time on your hands.
It was maybe even because of you that I got inspired, like the way I followed your journey of like making your home office, and it just got cooler and cooler and cooler, and that definitely deserves attention. I wanted to give a platform to people to show what they have built, what they have done. And on the other side, also for people who still have to start or who don't have such a home office and need inspiration from our community. I thought it was a perfect award. We collected over 100 photos of home offices worldwide. So that's, and you really see like differences, right? So very minimalist, or like very big with like lots of screens, lots of lights, like you and I also personally like multiple screens and lights and a background going on. So that's also where I divided. Let's do like a setup. So what do you see like in front of you? But let's also do an award for the background. Yeah. And we have seen very creative offices pass by. And you were so close to winning. You were just a couple of votes apart. Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's how it goes. That's what it's all about, isn't it? I mean, one thing that struck me when you first put that kind of competition, that idea out there, I thought, it's a really clever thing to do, because I think, if we cast our minds back just before COVID struck and we were locked down, it was kind of the thing at the time, I think, was, Teams meetings. We can blur our backgrounds, we can put a funny background. Now we find ourselves, and I guess everybody's individual personalities, like you say, able to come out and, who'd have thought that we would have been doing this, only 2 years ago, that we would be actively buying a set of shelves and putting objects on a set of shelves that kind of relate to your own personality. And it seems to have grown significantly, doesn't it? Right across the space at the moment. So, going to be interesting to see kind of if people actually want to get back into the place of work now, so much or continue to work from home. I mean, how do you find that? What you said that your new role is pretty much home based now. I mean, have you got any views on that whole return to work in the office, or stay at home? But what's your view on that, Izzy?
Yeah, so my view has definitely changed due to multiple factors. But in general, I'm a social butterfly. I love to be with people. I love to be surrounded by people, hang out with people. So this whole continuously staying at home thing, I don't really like. On the other hand, I do like that like you don't have to travel, you don't have to rush, you're not in traffic jams, you're not in overcrowded buses or trains. You don't have to get into your high heels, you could just stay in your pajama. Yes, I admit I often just stay very comfortable in my fluffy unicorn shoes, like that part, of course, I enjoy. But in general, I'm happy to be in a remote job because it also gives lots of flexibility in sense of travel. So like I said, like I moved to Switzerland, but I still have my family abroad. And what's cool is that I actually get to, say, for example, go to Amsterdam and then work from there. So that flexibility I definitely love, but I hope to see, well, I would not say full-time office. That's also not the case for our company. But what we do is we have events going on where we do get together all with each other. So it's not that we would like go to the office, but we would have parties or celebrations or dinners or other activities, fun team building activities going on.
Well, it's like you say, I think, certainly over here in the UK, we've started to see the first kind of in-person events starting to kick off. I've not been to one of the bigger events yet. I know we had the South Coast Summit only last weekend.
So a lot of people were there, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely a fear of missing out moment for me.
I
did have a ticket. It was personal reasons I couldn't go. But, it's like one of those things that, it'd be nice just to get back to the events, to meet up with all, certainly from the point of view of, look, a lot of us have never met in person before, and it's, I just think that's going to be an awesome moment where, you've got a group of people that have kind of been speaking across the social media platforms over the last 18 months. Finally, you're able to say hello, have a beer together, sit down, a bit of a chat. It's going to be, cool events. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting, isn't it? How all of that kind of plays out, I think.
Yeah, and what you said, like seeing people you haven't met before, I'm sure I'm going to have, and many of us might have that too, that you run into people and you think you know them, but you're not sure, like, have we met at an event before, or do we just know each other from Twitter, from online? I'm sure I will definitely have that, because there are like some people that are so known to me, like I know who they are, I know what to do, I know where they live, I know their, not like where their house is, but like which country they are. I'm not stalking like, oh, I know where you live, but you know so much about them. And then you run into them at the conference, and then actually to realize you've never met in person, I'm sure that will happen to me. But I actually have an in-person event coming up. I'm going to. Cool. So I'm very fortunate that Experts Inside is a diamond sponsor of the Collaboration Summit and Cloud Summit, which will be at the end of November and the first day of December in Düsseldorf, Germany.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll be
going. Much going on there? Have you got much going on? Is he there? Are you organise any part of that, or are you?
Well, so I'll be organising our booth, so everything around our booth and our team that's going to be there. It's going to be a nice group of our people going there. If you are at the Collaboration Summit, just look out for blue shirts. You will recognize us, and I would say come by our booth, have a beer, and let's have a talk. And very excited to see real people, collect stickers, hunt for swag.
I think that's been the running joke certainly over the last 18 months. I've run out of pens and I've run out of socks. So it's time to get back. I mean, they're going to be cool. I mean, there's no doubt, I bet you're really looking forward to that.
I need a new bottle. So if anybody's at the Collaboration Summit and they have bottles that they're giving away, please let me know.
I'm just glancing around my office now to see what I've had some really cool people personally send me some, swag across, because I think I've been complaining a little bit on the socials. Oh, I can't get stickers. I still have
bottles. To send you our stickers. Yeah.
Oh, I've got to have some of your stickers now. Absolutely. I mean, it's just, this is what it's all about. It's, it's a bit of fun. It's enjoyment. It's meeting other people, like-minded people. But yeah, I think it's going to be cool when we get back. I mean, I suppose we use the word normality, probably a bit too much now, because, and I don't want to use that phrase, the new normal, because who knows what it is. I think, it's definitely going to be a mixed bag, isn't it? I think, certainly, like you say, that the working from home and the remote working is certainly got a lot of benefits for a lot of people. But then equally, the social aspect, maybe the conferences are the new meeting up in the office, the water cooler moments, maybe. I don't know. It's certainly going to be an interesting few months into next year, isn't it, to see how all that all works itself out, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, in terms of community activity, what else have you got coming on? So you've got that event coming up, you say at the end of November, beginning of December. What else have you got that you're involved with coming up shortly, Izzy?
Yeah, so the agenda is filling up. It's getting busy. So towards the end of the year, while I'll be speaking at the Modern Workplace Ninjas user group in the Netherlands, I'll be hosting a session together with Holly, where we will talk about our entire journey of Head in the Cloud, Heart in the Community. So basically from the very beginning, how do we get motivated to start the show up until how do we work on our branding? How does it go behind the scenes? How do we set up the show? Our tips and tricks, our lessons learned. So basically really our video series journey. Then I also have a session coming up at Microsoft Ignite, where I'll be part of the Swiss tech community session. So there we will discuss everything what's going on in the Microsoft community here in Switzerland, events that are coming up, user groups. Yeah, basically a lot of information around the local tech community here. And let me see what else. Well, one of my, let's say, favorite events coming up, and I'm sure you've heard about it, is the Festive Tech Calendar.
Absolutely.
It's by our friends Gregor Sutty and Richard Hooper, who started 3 years ago, if I say that right. They had two previous editions, yeah. And so basically what it is, they are revealing sessions every single day. So there are doors, and behind every door there's a little surprise for the community. And that can be a breakout session, it can be a workshop, it can be somebody sharing a personal story. Like all throughout December, every day there will be something revealed. And I'm very excited that for the third year in a row, per the Festive Tech Calendar tradition, I get to do the keynote. And nice. That is, per tradition, it is a poem. So November for me, the past 2 years has been thinking, collecting ideas, writing out a poem, and coming up again.
So yeah, keeping yourself really busy then, is he? I mean, obviously, you mentioned Gregor and Richard there as two of the the prominent Azure MVPs over here in the UK. I mean, in terms of getting involved in those sessions, I mean, what does that mean for you, personally, when you get asked to do things like that? How does that strike you?
Yeah, so first of all, I love working with Greg and Richard in general on community stuff. They, I think we think the same about community. They, as much as I really love to be involved, and they've been so supportive and really helpful, and also the things they're doing I think is great. Also the shows they have and the video material they create, or the blogs they write. I just think in general they're two awesome people, and the fact that they do this to bring the community together. Speaking of, the call for speakers is still open. Everybody's welcome to submit. Of course, we hope to get as much content from everywhere around the world to share that with the community.
It really is a fun event, isn't it? I think I've seen it the last couple of years, and I've not, unfortunately, not taken part in it yet. And I think
you will this year.
Well, I've already spoken with Gregor and Richard and put an idea forward. I've not submitted it, but it looks like I may be pulled into one or two other things that are going on. So we'll see. Watch this space, I think is probably fair to say at the moment.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'll admit a little secret. One of the reasons why I really love this event, and it's one of my favorites, is because I get to wear my Christmas sweaters. I think I have. I mean, it's a Festive Tech Calendar, right? So it's all celebrations or no celebrations. It's just supposed to be festive. But for me, Christmas applies, and I just love Christmas sweaters. And I just realized for this year, I'll actually have my Microsoft ugly Christmas sweater as well.
Okay, I remember. Yeah, I remember the adverts for those going back.
Last year. Yeah, I got one. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, so.
But yeah, you're right, and it's just an important point to note actually, because I know Gregor and Richard kind of made the event far more inclusive. I mean, I say far more, but more inclusive to to cater for that wider culture base, the wider inclusion of different people. Because I think at first wasn't it the
Azure and also topics. First, exactly.
So I think they broadened that right out. So I think it may have closed by the time this video goes out, but I'm sure if you've got something burning, I'm sure that if you message Greg or Richard, then they're pretty amiable guys. They can let you get away with things and sneak a session in there. I'm sure, no doubt. Izzy, this is just this has been such a super fun I'm so happy that I finally got the chance to say hello to you properly. I mean, in terms of what you've got going into next year, and what kind of this tech community means to you. I mean, we'll close this conversation off with a little bit of an open-ended question. But where do you see this tech community going? What would you like to see over the next couple of years? How would you like to see this community evolve, and in what way do you think?
So first of all, I would definitely love to see more women into our community. I mean, let's not ignore the topic. I find it very important to speak about that. You also often see that in Head in the Cloud, Heart in the Community, that we talk about the women in tech. So I really love that we all become a more welcoming, inclusive tech community. That's one of the things I would love to see happening in the future. Secondly, just that in person just gets back, that we can really see each other in person and help each other and have fun together and learn. Especially nowadays, there are so many technologies, there are so many new technologies, there are continuously updates and new features. There's so much we can learn from each other in also different technology fields. And I will hopefully always breathe community.
Yeah, no, you're quite right, Izzy. It's certainly women in tech and women in general in the tech community is definitely one of those hot topics, isn't it? In terms of I don't know what it is. I always as a middle-aged white man, I always find it sometimes, rightly or wrongly, challenging to speak about. But equally, I think no, it's about ensuring that anybody coming in, especially invite you. How do you phrase it? But bringing those minds into the tech community and kind of elevating instead of being gatekeeper, I suppose, is the best way of putting it. Because,
I mean, what you say.
I was going to ask, Izzy, have you got any advice, hints, tips for people in my position that sometimes may struggle with the topic and how to approach it? What would your advice be?
My advice would be, don't be afraid of it. Just talk about it openly. And it's also totally okay to have different opinions, right? I mean, that's also what an inclusive world is about, that you can share your opinion, I can share my opinion. We might not agree, but we can agree that we disagree, or we can also help each other better to understand each other's perspectives. And I just think that's very important, that we don't get shy or afraid to talk about it. Because when you talk about it, you can tackle the challenges and you can make it much more of an easier topic to talk about that is not scary from both sides, right? What you said, as a middle-aged white man, but also maybe a younger girl who wants to get into the tech world but is scared to enter it. And
Yeah, absolutely. Well, at the end of the day, I think it's just about that advocacy word again, isn't it? Is that, positive intent, advocate anybody that wants to come into tech, lift people up, I suppose.
Exactly.
Is the message there, at any point possible. And I guess, go out your way to make that difference. So, yeah, completely echo your thoughts there, Izzy, in terms of where the community and I've got no doubt it will. I've got no doubt it will over the next year or two. I'm sure we'll see the diversity grow again, hopefully because it does get a bit samey, even for me, speaking to other middle-aged white men in tech. It just seems to be so many of us at the moment. So yeah, in any way that we can make that community, the industry more diverse, is I'm absolutely there as a supporter for. But Izzy, this has been such a fun chat. Really pleasure has been all mine to meet you and say hello. Thanks so much for giving up your time and coming on the show today.
Thank you so much, John. It's been a pleasure to talk to you. I also cannot wait to meet you in person and to hang out. I'm sure we'll have a lot more to talk about. And wish you the best of luck with the rest of your show. And thanks again for having me on.
No, likewise, Izzy. Good luck with the new role and the family, of course. The health and wealth that you deserve. So yes, we'll catch up over socials, no doubt. But until we see each other at a session somewhere soon, take care, Izzy. Thanks for being an awesome guest.
Thank you.
Bye, Izzy.